is keep the carbon in the ground. Carbon's not supposed to be in the air. So you keep it in the ground. And you do that by restoring organic agriculture because organic agriculture sequesters carbon. You do it by not allowing new tar sands pipelines in. You do it by transitioning from fossil fuels to renewables, right? And you do it by eliminating the plastics because those are all fossil fuels. That's what you do. So there's an easy set of solutions. It's not easy. There's things that you do to make the difference. You localize your food economy. This is our little chart about how much money we waste shopping at Walmart, right? You build a multiplier because you have local food. You grow cool squash. We were talking about this during lunch. That's my cool squash. Really, really old seed varieties. Gete ocosum, we call that squash. And you remember that, there's this Mexican proverb which is, they thought they buried us, but they forgot that we were seeds. Be a seed. Be a seed. In my neck of the woods, we have that wild rice, and the water levels will affect that rice, so people with summer homes don't like rice on their lake. Minnesota land of 10,000 lakes. So they up the water levels for those summer people, and the rice wouldn't grow. One lake it was 17 years, another like 15 years, 50 years. And we had a drought one summer, what came back? The rice. Winona. Came back, it remembered us. 17 years, 50 years, dormant. Be a seed. Be a seed. There's resilience in seeds. And be the change. This is monarch. There's a word for the transformation called metamorphosis, right? But the transformation itself is unique in a butterfly. It's not like the transformation in a moth. They liquidate themselves inside the chrysalis. Y'all know this? I didn't really know this. But this guy was telling me this story, and I was kind of irritated with him, and then was like, what? So it turns out there's these cells that appear, and those cells are called imago cells. They're called imago cells. And those cells appear, and the first ones come, and they're killed off by the other cells. And then the next ones come, and they're killed off. And they keep coming in larger numbers until the imago cells take over the body or the liquid that is in there, inside the chrysalis, and they turn that caterpillar into a butterfly. They're called imago cells. The word imago is the same word as the root for the word imagination. It's the same word. We are the social imago cells. You have to imagine what it is we are going to create. It will be beautiful. We will make it with our hands and our prayers. That's how change is made. There isn't like a social change figurine that comes in and fixes your stuff. Everybody in this area knows that social movements transform history. It's your shop. It's all our shop. Making those, but just be those imago cells. Come see us. This is how cool we are. Welcome water protectors. You could come camp and ride horse, grow hemp. I could see you guys already come on. Be good. Thank you for your time. So we have a few minutes for questions. I spoke really fast because I actually have to get a taxi to the airport. I'm just totally, because I gotta go home. But I want to save time for questions, and I'm sure that some of you might have questions because I spoke quickly, but please, I'd be happy to answer some. Yes?
With the pipeline, you know so much about, I'm wondering, if part of that pipeline catches fire, is it just going to be like a fire?
I have no idea.
And that will just be like the biggest massive fire?
I have no idea. I feel like, the more crazy idea you have, the single largest oil spill in the country was California. No, it wasn't the largest oil spill, it was actually at Grand Rapids. They were both Enbridge spills. They have explosions and things blow up. It's like a disaster. And all I want, as I said, is kind of a graceful transition. I don't want every ecosystem all trashed. I want like a plan. I want a little bit of a plan, a little decommissioning, a little cleaning up your old mess before you make a new mess, kind of things you tell your kids,
I would just think that would worry the average person.
Yeah, I think that a lot of Minnesota doesn't want the pipeline. There's, there's a few pipeliners and I'm like, I'm not actually opposed to pipelines. I'm just gonna be super honest with you. Like, I'm a big fan of like water and sewer lines. I'm saying? It's not the pipe, it's what's in it. Right? And we have a D in infrastructure in this country. When we defeated the Enbridge sandpiper, we have 300 miles of pipe that they're never gonna lay in Minnesota. And you know what I told them? I said, send it to Flint. Send it to Flint, Michigan. Somebody needs pipe, we don't. You know, so I'm all for pipe. I'm all for the trades. I'm all for infrastructure. I just want infrastructure that makes sense. Not infrastructure for oil companies. I want infrastructure for survival. You know? That's what I feel like. So, other questions, are there? Yeah.
After we move away from fossil fuels and the rest of these things, how do you think the oil companies might repurpose these pipes that already exist?
So how are the oil companies what?
It might repurpose the pipes, or how are they going to deal with them once fossil fuels kind of done?
Perfect. So first of all, they could go renewables. I tell, Enbridge until last year or 2 years ago had a $7 billion renewable portfolio. I was like, no time like the present, buddy. Let's do this. We'll like you a lot better if you put up $7 million worth of solar, So they have the ability to transition. What they need to do is clean up their present pipes, because a lot of those are super shaky. You know what I'm saying? Is like, I feel like if you've got a gas line in this town, that gas line should work. You look at a map of Boston, I don't know if you've ever seen this, I think Duke University did the study. I mean, that city's gonna explode. You can't smoke a cigarette halfway around the city because the gas mains are leaking everywhere, right? So I'm like, there's plenty of jobs cleaning up, and why would you want to waste 30% of your natural gas into the air? Fix your infrastructure, right? So that's a lot of my, we gotta all work on this together. It's a collective, challenge. Does that answer?
Yeah.
Good. Questions? Yes?
How can we think about dealing with corporations that are switching into renewable energy and are not respecting the sovereignty of native peoples? So I've worked in southern Mexico where there are large wind farms that they're
The
putting
big
in.
farms on the peninsula.
Yes, on the peninsula, on Tehuantepec. And there are activists who are mobilizing against wind energy in this situation, and the wind farms themselves pollute as well. So
What you need is, community-owned wind.
Yes.
The antidote to this is not corporate ownership of the next economy. The antidote is community ownership, because then you know how to site it, what to do, how to work it, and you have equity in it, or you benefit from it. The answer is community wind, and it's across the board. Community solar, we need to own the next economy because these guys messed it up. So I'm like, why would we give them another shot? So, our tribes are working hard to own our own, like the Navajo Nation, with this that's the largest solar project of any tribe in the country. I was like, go Navajos, you just go, you keep that up. Good question on things. Questions more? I did drink 5 cups of sweet tea, so I'm super good. So I'm good. Yes?
What's your opinion
On biodigesters? I think they're a pretty good idea. That's one of the technologies I'm not really familiar with, but you got all that methane. And you do need to repurpose it, and I feel like that there's a lot of good work being done at different scales and at different locations. To me, a lot of it has to do with appropriate technology. The term is appropriate technology. Not all technology is great. Not all technology is bad. Sometimes it's a size issue. Like me and my hemp mill, I was talking to somebody about it today, an investor, and I don't want to build a cute little mill where I can make a shirt. I want to change the world. So I want a mill that's of a size that's appropriate for my community, but isn't the size of something that's in China. I want something that's smaller so I can power it with a lot more renewables, right? So you understand what I'm saying? So biodigesters at certain scales are better than at other scales, and it's totally site. The thing about the technology is it has to be site-specific, right? Not all sizes fit, it's not a one-size-fits-all. So there's probably, I don't know that much about it, but I know that there's a lot of work, some good work on it, So, thanks for your question. Yeah, Tom.
No, thanks. What are some key skills you could see students getting from their time at the college that can help them understand and build this new economy that will be